Megan Hayes and welcome back to my channel. So before I start, just disclaimer guys, everything that I will talk about on this vlog is basically based on my research. I haven't done this, so bear with me. Okay, well, what are the steps that you need to take in order to get New Zealand RN registration? So first, you need to verify all your documents with CGFNS. Once it's verified, then you can apply directly to the Nursing Council. So you need to do two free online courses, and then you need to have your police checks, criminal history checks, and fitness check, and you need to do an assessment part to see where you will fall into, because as I mentioned earlier that if you're not registered in other countries that I will mention, then or you haven't practiced there, then you will need to undergo the competency assessment pathway. So okay, so for the IQN registration self-assessment tool, it will ask you a few questions unless you're registered in Australia, so this is not for you guys. So the first question would be, I am currently registered with an overseas regulatory authority. So of course, if you're a Filipino RN, you would be registered with PRC. So I would always say yes to that. So that's then I'll click that, then I'll move on to the next one. So it will ask me, my nursing education that led to registration was completed in one of the following: USA, UK, Ireland, Singapore, British Columbia, or Ontario provinces in Canada. If you have studied nursing in any of those countries that I have mentioned, which means you will answer that. If not, you will need to answer that it was not completed in those countries. So I will click that because I didn't study my nursing in those countries. So I will put the other option. Next would be, I have a current registration in one of the following: USA, UK, Ireland, Singapore, British Columbia, or Ontario provinces in Canada since January 1, 2017. Okay, so this one varies. Okay, so if you're currently registered in each or one of those countries, then you could click that. Otherwise, you click the other one, which is no. Okay, so I'll assume I'm registered in the UK, so I would put that option. Then the next would be, I have a bachelor degree in nursing or higher, like master's degree, that led to my registration as a registered nurse overseas. So of course, if you finish nursing in the Philippines, then of course you should have finished your bachelor degree in nursing, so I will choose that. Okay, so this is another crucial part that will be different from each applicant. So the next one would be, I have completed at least 1,800 hours of work as a registered nurse in one of the following, which is the same countries that I've mentioned, in the last 10 years. So if you're, for instance, you're in the UK, you've been working there for at least a year. I would say 1,800 hours is at least a year of work. It depends on how many hours of week you have worked. So I can't say it's a year. Maybe you worked on that hours for less than a year. So it really depends. So at least I think the safest would be a year for you to be fitting on that option. But it's really up to you. So the answer would be depending on your work experience. But otherwise, if you're registered but you haven't worked there, for instance, I have a license in the USA but I'm not working there, I haven't worked there before, then that's a different story. So you choose whatever fits. So for instance, I'm in the UK and I work there for more than a year. I've worked there for 2 years or 3 years already, so I would be fitting on this option, right? So I will click that, and then that's the end of the question. So it will tell you based on your answers, what they might think that would be the best option for you to register. So it will say here that the answers you have given indicate that you may not have to complete the test of competency, the theory exam, and clinical exam or the OSCE to become registered. Be eligible to apply for registration after you get verified for CGFNS, provided you provide all the documents necessary for it, such as your English test, your criminal history checks, and that's it. So I think it's really a good thing, right? So you don't need to take OSCE, it's so expensive. By the way, actually, New Zealand's OSCE is quite cheaper. It's 3,000, and they give you a preparatory review for I think 2 days, orientation and preparatory course. Then the OSCE would be 3 hours. I'm not sure if it's time. I haven't heard anyone who have taken OSCE in New Zealand yet, but maybe it's easier than what we have here in Australia. Who knows? Yeah, so I'll give you a quick overview as well of what do you need for the CGFNS. So mainly it's just personal information, your identity documents, education history, employment history, license and registrations, English test, of course, needs to be valid for 2 years. They only accept OET and IELTS, unfortunately. Yeah, and then you'll just need to submit all of it. Once you have the verification, then you need to apply for your registration with the nursing council, and they said the time frame for assessment is about 5 months because of the demand, but it's after you get your verification with CGFNS. So actually, what I'm saying here is that for those nurses, especially from adult nurses from the USA, would want to come and work in New Zealand or in Australia, but maybe, who knows, right? But for those nurses who are in the UK, Ireland, Singapore, or maybe Canada, if you're interested to get registration in New Zealand and you want to work and live in Australia, then this is a good pathway for you. I always say, for those nurses who are actually asking me what are the options for those nurses who are from the UK or from the Singapore, I think this is your best option, guys. It might be quite of a process as well, but at least you will be saving your time doing all those exams, and actually just apply your registration to APRA directly. So you don't need to work in New Zealand. As long as you have your practice certificate with New Zealand, then you're good to get your registration to APRA, and you're free to apply for work in Australia. So yeah, but guys, this is just mainly based on my research. I haven't taken this pathway, but I'm just giving you guys an idea of what options you could take. Yourself assessed by the New Zealand Nursing Council and see how you go from there. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you, everyone. I hope this vlog help you think about the other options that you might take if you're from those countries or you're just thinking of moving elsewhere. So good luck, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.